Let's talk New York Mets baseball. The trade deadline is today, 6 p.m. And there's been a lot of movement up there in New York with this Mets organization. We saw D-Rob get out of there first, Max Scherzer, now Mark Canha. There's also talks about Tommy Pham, which I'm not sure why that's happening. Tommy Pham has actually been doing really well lately. I was surprised to hear that. But most of all, everybody's talking about this guy on the screen, Justin Verlander. He has been interested, or at least Houston has been interested in him. He may be going back there. And there's also a couple of other teams in the mix who are taking a look at him, and I think that he's taking a look at them as well. I don't think that this has anything to do with Epler or the Mets organization. I think that Verlander doesn't like it here in New York. He doesn't like it there at all. Maybe he does a little bit. I can't really speak for the guy, but I'm just going off of my opinion. I think that he got a bad taste in his mouth early on when he made his debut there in Citi Field, and Mets fans kind of did it to themselves because they didn't even give him a chance to get settled in. He did have a rough first game. I think he went 5 innings. He had 6 earned runs that game. I don't remember 100% right off the top of my head, but it was a rough day for him, and he was booed off the mound his very first time on the bump there in New York. If you remember, he didn't start the season with the organization. He was down in Florida working with the minor league team, getting ready. I think it was a shoulder injury or whatnot that he had. So he didn't even come up and join the team until May. I think it was May 4th where he joined the team and made his debut. So he's really only been there in New York with the team or whatnot, or with these guys for just a few months. What is it? It's the beginning of August now. So it's only been a few months. And within those few months that he's been with the organization, been with the team, he's been booed at Citi Field multiple times, if not several times. So I don't think that he has a really good taste in his mouth when it comes to New York. I don't think that he really enjoys being there. New York is a tough city to live in. It's expensive. It's not Houston. Houston is, you've got Galveston down there, south of Houston or whatnot. There's a lot of beautiful things going on around there in Houston, and maybe it's not the scenery that he is used to, and you might be looking to go somewhere else. But I think that, like I said, I think Mets fans, we kind of did it to ourselves a little bit. He really had no shot to really get comfortable, get his feet wet up there in New York, and really kind of settle in. He's probably feeling like, hey, these guys don't even care that I'm putting in this work, that I'm out here doing my damnness, even though sometimes it's not good enough. So why do I need to be here? And, I don't blame him. He is 40 years old. He's a great pitcher. We know he's an ace. He's Hall of Fame bound one day. But, his time here in New York has not been that phenomenal. So if he does end up leaving, if by the end of the day we hear that, he's gone and he has been traded, I would not be surprised. He does have the no trade clause, so he can kind of say, no, I don't want to go anywhere. And who knows what he's going to do. But I personally think that he might be in the mood to move on because he hasn't really had a great, great relationship with Mets fans so far. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen. But, I mean, he hasn't been too bad of a pitcher. Let's take a look at these stats here. He's got 6 wins, 5 losses. Let's take a look at this here. 6 wins, 5 losses, 3.15 ERA in 94.1 innings pitched, 81 strikeouts, and he has a whip of 1.14. His career ERA is 3.24. So, he's, right where he usually is, I guess you could say. And, like I said, not the best start to his Mets career, but he also isn't the worst thing that we've seen. I mean, Peterson, I think his ERA got up to over 8. So, I think let's take a look here. His last 7 games, he's got where is it at? Yeah, check this out. In his last 7 games, he's got a 1.49 ERA. So, I mean, he's been hanging in there. He's been doing his job. Not horrible, but I think that he has a bad taste in his mouth based off of his debut and how things kind of started off with the injury and being booed multiple times. Nobody really likes that. But if we've got to make some changes, we can make those changes and, do some building to try to get some pitching and, get an organization that's going to get us a win. Cohen wants to get this win within the first 3 to 5 years. So we got to do something. Let's see what happens. Let's go Mets.